my life. No foolish dreams make me cry. I'm never frightened to worry, and they'll always get by.
I need up, I put down. Something gets in my way, I go around it. Don't let life get me down. Gonna take my life the way that I found it. I got the music in me. 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 They say that life is a circle. That is the way that I found it. And I'm going through in a straight line, keeping my feet firmly on the ground. I heat up, I cool down, cool down. Something gets in my way, I go around it. Don't let life get me down. And to hold on my words and just lay down. I got the music in me. 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 Don't let it get you down. 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 I heat up, I cool down. When something gets in my way, I go round it. Don't let life get me down. Gonna take my life the way that I found it. I got the music in me. 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 Thank you for letting us come and share our music with you. We are a vocal ensemble of about 20 advanced singers who tried out to be in the group. They're fantastic. Some of them are writing their own songs. We do gigs throughout the county. You want to see us at a Starbucks or a coffee house. And we have been. This group is called Vox Art. It's Latin for Golden Voices. And fantastic kids. I get to work with every day. I will start over here. Jared Frazier, Sean Meadows, and Nicholas Ashton.
Thanks for letting us be here.
Derek Dismukes. We have Dixie Edwards and Jazzy Ferruccio, Cassie Burrow, Nina Green, Maggie Corley, Morgan McClary, it's been a long day, Sophie Haley, Sophie Boykin, Marisol Lafonte, Nikki Alvarado, Bella Amelius, Miss Sam Volka, and Grace McKissick. How many of you are 8th graders? And 7th graders. And 6th graders. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
board members, if you will come this way to the center, we're going to send a message to Hunter Garson before we call. Audio not working? Okay. I'd like to call this meeting to order and welcome everyone this evening to the Tuesday, January 21st, 2014 meeting of Williamson County Board of Education. Before we get started, I'd like to ask everyone to be either silent or turn off their cell phone. I'd like to thank Officers James Corwin and Dominic Albania for being here to provide our security. First item on the agenda is the pledge. Please stand and join Board Member Mark Gregory to the pledge and maintain your noble solemn.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Would someone like to make a motion? Motion from Ms. Gregory. Second from Ms. Bode. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. As part of that approval, the board approved on the consent agenda the minutes from the November 18th, 2013 board meeting, approve board policy revisions on second reading 1.403.
Board meeting agendas, 5.604, overtime pay, the approval of the field trip fee request, the Columbia Presbyterian Church lease at Perry Creek Elementary, and the City of Spring Hill request for a construction easement. The next item on the agenda is public comment. We have 5 individuals who have signed up to address the board this evening. When I call your name, if you would please step to the podium, state your name and your address. You have 1.5 minutes to address the board. Mr. Anderson, who sits to my right, is your timekeeper, and he has some cue cards to keep you on task. When you hear the timer go off, if you would please conclude your comments and take your seat. I'm going to have to apologize to the first individual. I'm not sure that I can read the name properly. Is it Linda Anderson?
First of all, I want to say to Dr. Looney, thank you for the meeting with me in December, and I really appreciate and want to thank you for recommending that I can come here again tonight and talk to the board and request a relook at the rezone. I do believe that we are tools of the Williamson County school system, both the parents and you all as well. Those tools, we sharpen one another. We don't take jabs and we don't poke or do anything like that. So anything that we say is not necessarily a criticism, but questions to ask for accountability, how things are come to terms with. My question that I wanted to talk to you about was the rezoning of Lisbon particularly. Now, I know I've heard the terminology, the overload and the program on the optimal capacity. Those I've never heard before. I hear numbers, but I don't hear student-teacher ratios. I was at Lipscomb today, and from what I understand, the portables are going to stay. I know we have some challenges with the new school coming up, and I would like for this to be relooked at. We know that we have Crockett that can come into play with the early education classes and the 1 kindergarten class that could make room for some of the students, particularly the ones that live in Brentwood. They don't have to leave the city schools. Again, Dr. Lee, I do appreciate you meeting with me. I did have some concerns and questions, and hopefully, Mr. Squires, you will get back with me on the concerns I had with the Roberts Rule of Order at the November 18th meeting. I'm assuming that you'll get back, and I do appreciate that. I'm not a good speaker, but like I say, I do want that looked at because I think the students deserve to have every stone overturned to look at. And, short-term answers aren't going to be long-term solutions. And I know there's going to be different restructuring, rezoning with the new schools, and why Lipscomb now, why these now, why can't they wait? I think the students deserve to have it to look at. Again, when you was telling me that it takes about a month or less than a month to do a rezoning plan, that's a short time to really look at all this to see where you're going to transplant a lot of these students, particularly from the 2 different schools I was talking about, Brentwood and Franklin. And I would just ask for you all to take a look at that again. Again, Dr. Lee, I appreciate it so much for meeting with me.
Thank you. Next is Lori Cardoza-Moore.
Good evening and Happy New Year to all of you. I understand I have got some examples of some textbooks that parents reviewed, and so Pat, I'd love to have them passed out. I can leave them here if you want to hand them out afterwards.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
My name is Lori Cardoza-Moore, and I'm a resident in Williamson County at 1858 Wilson Pike. And my comments are the comments that Dr. Jason Robinson made. He's a textbook commissioner who reviewed the textbooks. He stated that when talking about the responsibility, and everything I'm going to read from here out is his quote directly, When talking about the responsibility that we have in the textbook adoption process, I was told that we, the Commission, make sure that the books cover the state standards. It is not our job to look at biases or inaccuracies. This is the Tennessee State Textbook Commission. I had the opportunity to serve on several textbook selection committees for Bradley County schools. We believed wholeheartedly that if a textbook was on the state's approved list, it was high quality, unbiased, and accurate. At no time did we ever examine the textbooks to check for those items. We have been presented some books that contain inaccurate information, vulgar language, inappropriate cartoons, possible social and political agendas, and potential religious biases. If there are any textbook companies represented in this room today, I would be embarrassed and ashamed by the concerns some of your companies have caused. If the individuals who wrote the material contained in some of your textbooks are the best you could find, you should probably start from scratch. I go on to say, I'll close with this comment. It is his educated opinion, he said, it is an educated opinion that I have made by looking at the details contained in the textbooks and from all the information presented. The name says it all, approved textbook list. For me to agree says I personally approve of every textbook we have been presented, and I cannot do that. And I believe our elected officials with whom we met this summer at Legislative Plaza on both sides of the aisle would agree with me. I could not with a clear conscience agree to place some of the materials presented to us in the hands of my children or any other student in our state. For that reason, I will be voting no to the list as it is presented, as this body will be voting on approving textbooks for Williamson County schools based on what the Textbook Commission reviewed. I am requesting that this body vote no against the textbooks that were adopted by the Tennessee Textbook Commission and encourage our teachers to look locally and let them put those textbooks and the teaching materials together themselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is Candy Emerson Lawson.
Howdy, I'm Candy Emerson. I live at 900 Hunters Court, and I thank you for letting me be here tonight. I likewise have something that I'd like to pass out to you all, and I'll just leave them up here. I'm sorry I can't do it now because it's about a cartoon, but I've highlighted some things for you to take note of, please. It's actually from one of the textbooks that was recently adopted this past summer after they initially rejected all of the textbooks. It's Modern World History, Patterns of Interaction, and it's found on page 307. I want to call attention to the political cartoon that's at the bottom of the page, and you'll see it. I've highlighted it. It's by Walter Crane, who is a very strong advocate of a social political agenda, a socialistic political agenda. It shows a picture at the bottom of a laborer, and he's labeled as a laborer, and he is dying. He is being eaten by a vampire bat called capitalism, and at the very top of the page, there is an angel who is called Socialism, and she is there coming to the rescue. The question that was one of the document-based questions that is asked of the students is, why might the political cartoon by Walter Crane be useful in getting workers to rally to the cause of socialism? Our kids are learning this. And you cannot deny that there's an agenda that goes far beyond our founding fathers and what they saw for us. And I just ask that you would give consideration to this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is Julie West.
My name is Julie West, and out of safety concerns, I'm happy to show an ID, but I do not want my address read. I'm here basically to speak about the proposed raise for Mr. Looney that was mentioned in the Tennessean this week. And I've got to say that raises a lot of concerns. First of all, this county is well over $500 million in debt. Some put the figure as high as $800 million in debt. students in advanced classes have to pay to take exams. And we have parents all over this county being expected to cut expenses in their own homes in a major way just to make ends meet. But his job basically requires him to share information with you so that you can make wise decisions. Did he let you know in reviewing and considering the textbooks that new legislation is likely going to change what's even required to be in them? Or that months ago the Senate gave a directive that you should receive the hundreds of pages of documented errors that were a result from both sides of the aisle at the textbook hearing? Did he tell you that dozens of families on the basis of religious objections went ahead, refused to have their children entered into the database, were given an offer of compromise, and then once they filled out the hard copies like we were told we could do, I got an email from him saying, well, of course, once we got your information, we put it in the database anyway. Did he tell you about the assault on my son a year ago, for which he's still receiving medical care, and we've never had the medical bills even acknowledged, although they've been sent up to the school and he's been made aware of them numerous times? That a recording of a meeting regarding my child's education was made, and how there were substantial portions of that meeting missing from the tape, but Mr. Looney decided to give it to Fox News. Did he tell you about that? Did he tell you about the potential conflict with Chuck Cagle, who represents Pearson Publishing, and Mr. Looney through TOSS, that he's a paid lobbyist for Pearson? His wife is a chief sales executive for Pearson, and despite what many of you are led to believe, he actually has represented Williamson County. He's worked both sides at the same event. So based on this, here's something else. Consider how many times a not very large county nationally has made it on national news because of completely scandalous issues that he failed to deal with. He hasn't let you know all about this, and the thing that I want you to consider is, if you approve an extension for him, if you approve a raise for him, what you are potentially opening yourselves up for. Thank you.
Thank you. Next individual is Robert Hathaway.
Madam President, Dr. Looney, my name is Robert Hathaway. I live at 137 Clarendon Circle in Franklin. I'm here to speak about my opposition to textbook adoption by Common Core standards. On pages 403 and 4 of Pearson Prentice Hall's Literature, Grade 10, Common Core edition, we see an editorial written on the 10th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. It appeared in the New York Times. It begins, "The Berlin Wall was bound to fall eventually." That's interesting. Was the editorial board of the New York Times writing in 1980 that the Berlin Wall was bound to fall eventually? The editorial continues. But that it came down as bloodlessly as it did 10 years ago this week is largely a tribute to one leader. Today, Mikhail Gorbachev is a political pariah in Russia and increasingly forgotten in the West. But history will remember him generously for his crucial role in ending the Cold War and pulling back the Iron Curtain that Stalin drew across Europe in 1945. So there you have it. Gorbachev brought down the Berlin Wall. Why? Well, evidently because he was a good guy. What's missing in this account? General Secretary Gorbachev, if you seek peace, if you seek prosperity for the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe, if you seek liberalization, come here to this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Those are the words that brought down the Berlin Wall. But they're not found in the Common Core, and therefore in the classrooms of America. And that is called revisionist history. And I urge you to not adopt that textbook and eliminate America's Western influence as the vanguard of freedom throughout the world from our classrooms. And I thank you for your attention.
Thank you. That concludes public comment for this evening. The next item on the agenda is the superintendent's report. Dr. Looney.
Thank you, Madam Chair, board members. Good to see you this evening. We had a wonderful day at the chamber. I know many of you came. We had the opportunity to present to our business community some of the things that we've been accomplishing in Williamson County Schools, thanks to your leadership. I also want to give you a little bit of a tease tonight. There is going to be a major announcement that's going to be made in the next several days about 3 of our schools achieving a very notable award, and I look forward to presenting that to you just as soon as I've been given the authorization to do that by higher authority. School district operations are going very well. We do not expect to have to close because of inclement weather in the next day or so. I know that disappoints the many students that are watching. I had the opportunity to speak with a number of students today and actually brag on them today at the chamber meeting. We have some fearless and some tenacious students in the district that are doing amazing things, and I am so proud of them, and I know that you are as well. We are off to this beginning of the second semester. We've gotten off to a very good start. I appreciate the hashtag Hunter Strong tonight, reaching out to our student that is still recovering, and that completes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Looney. Ms. Birdsong, do you have some spotlights? Boy, do I have some spotlights. Yes, board members, as Dr. Looney said, we are off to a great start. And so we are going to celebrate just a little bit tonight. We're going to start with academics. And we are going to start, my little monitor's not on, so I'll do my best to follow through, fellas. At Ravenwood High School, Neiman Mann. Now this is exciting. Neiman was one of 2 student leaders from the state of Tennessee selected to participate in the United States Senate Youth Program. So she'll get to go to Washington for a week and see the national government in action. Let's talk about the arts next. And we have so many Scholastic Art Gold winners. So these, the next folks that I'm going to talk about are Gold Key Award winners in various categories. We're going to start at Centennial with Emily Grahams. Emily's teacher is Elizabeth McIntyre. Emily won in the ceramics and glass category. Then over at Franklin, Vika Schwer won 4 gold awards for photography and digital art. One of her gold awards was also chosen as a best of show. Her teacher is Melissa Estes. Several students from Independence were Gold Key Award winners. Evan Genter won for comic art. Then we have Gabriel Martinez, who won for painting, and Alexandra Rutan, who won for design. Now, Evan and Gabriel's teacher is Andrea Howard, and Alexandra's teacher is Stephanie Pruitt. Let's talk about Beverly Warner, an independent student as well. Beverly won 2 gold awards for drawing and also a best of show. Her teacher is Andrea Howard. At Ravenwood, Heather Hernandez won 2 Gold Key Awards, and one was also a best of show award for painting. Her teacher is Margaret Brown. Morgan Jones from Ravenwood won in photography and digital arts. Her teacher is Debbie Chesser. And at Summit High School, Nicole DeCiso won for painting. Her teacher is Warner Riker. Okay, now we're going to talk about the Honor Band of America. And we have 3 students from Franklin High School. Cameron Drury. Cameron plays the tuba. Ryan Fisher. Ryan plays the clarinet. And Michaela Ray plays the horn. And their band instructor is David Adelite. All-state musicians. Boy, do we have a lot of musicians making the all-state band. We are going to start at Brentwood High School with Lauren Castor, Mackenzie Fetters, Jessica Gehring, Don Wu, James Dye, and John Kang. Their band instructor is Randy Box. At Centennial High School, Gabriel Collins was named to the All-State Band. His instructor is Daniel Ibaraskur. At Franklin High School, Anea Dossie and Ryan Fisher. You heard Ryan's name already tonight. All-State Band, David Adelite. Page High School, Rebecca Singletary and Clayton Heineke. Their band instructor is Matt Emerson. Ravenwood High School, Jennifer Crook, Luann Barajas, Tina Babler, Travis Burhart, Dustin Lynn, Titus Cody, Thomas Vines, Taylor Winkler, Jerry O'Dwyer, Catherine Rigsby, named to the All-State Band. Mark Kinzer is their instructor. In athletics, Fairview High School, Erica Sherber, named to the 2013 Tennessee High School Soccer Coaches Association All-State Team. Kevin Sizemore is her coach. And also we're celebrating Ravenwood High School as their varsity cheerleading squad won the TSSAA Medium Varsity Championship. Ariel Griffin, Brooke Phillips, Kaylee Caldwell, Jasmine Archie, Riley Armstrong, Kaylin Lannis, Olivia Blair, Lauren Martin, Raleigh Stofka, Claire Webb, Taylor Wood, Claire Sorensen, Becca Zaves, Bailey Wirtz, Kylie Betchley, Sarah Klippenstein, Logan Jordan, and Cindy Fordyce. Their coach is Stephanie Fays. We have 2 staff spotlights tonight. Betsy Taylor at Franklin High School is being recognized for being named the 2014 president of the Tennessee Foreign Language Teaching Association. And at Brentwood High School, Doug Anderson has been honored with the Keep America Beautiful Young Professional Award. Lots of reasons to celebrate in Williamson County Schools tonight. So congratulations to all of our honorees. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Birdsong. Next item on the agenda is a board chairman's report. I would like to start by thanking our performance group that was here this evening, Vox Ria from Heritage Middle School, and their director, Lisa Benton. We appreciate them coming tonight on this cold night and providing such wonderful music, and I think we all feel like we've got the music in us now. So, also to the Summit High School Culinary Arts students and their teacher, Marcia Johnson. They prepared a delicious meal for the board this evening, and we appreciate that very much. Also like to thank the Williamson County Chamber for inviting Dr. Looney to be the keynote speaker at today's meeting, and thank Dr. Looney for doing an outstanding job of sharing the district's success. I think it was a very impressive meeting and very informative for all. I see a number of our staff and principals in the audience. If you would stand and let us recognize you. Thank you very much for being here. We always appreciate your presence and support. I'd like to also recognize we have 4 Franklin High School students who have received recognition. There are the 4 Studio Art AP students, and they have been recognized in the January issue of Nashville Arts Magazine. Cindy Duncan, Sophie Goodwin, Abby Lewis, and Annika Verdon have all been featured in the magazine, so congratulations to each of these students. We're very proud of you on your work. And today is a very important day in history. We're celebrating the birthday of Miss Morgan. Congratulations and happy birthday. And that concludes my report. We'll now move on to new business. First item is 3A1, Board Policy Revisions for first reading. The first policy is on page 39. It's 1.703, School Attendance Areas, Zoning, and Non-Resident Students. Dr. Looney.
Thank you, Madam Chair and board members. I want to take a little bit of time explaining this proposed policy revision, primarily for the sake of public notification. The board has had some pretty intense discussion about altering the 12-month rule, which authorizes those families that move to the district, remain in the same residence for a period of 12 months, and then move again. Under the current policy, those students would be allowed to remain in their original school. The proposed revision would only allow rising 5th, 8th, 11th, and 12th graders and their siblings to remain in the same school, and all other students would need to go to their zone school the following year. I do make that recommendation for a policy shift. This is a first reading, so you'll have another shot at this in a month's time.
Would someone like to make a motion? Motion from Ms. Mills. Second from Mr. Peterson. Is there any discussion? Are we ready to vote? Motion passes. Next item is 3A2, 3.211 project planning. This is on page 43. Dr. Looney.
Thank you, Madam Chair and board members. I won't go into detail. I do recommend approval of this policy revision. This is the first reading, so once again, you'll have another shot at this next month.
Someone like to make a motion? Motion from Ms. Hammond. Second from Mr. McLaughlin. Is there any discussion? Are we ready to vote?
Your vote is 10 yes, 0 no.
Motion passes. Next item is 3A3, 4.7001 semester and final exams. This information is on page 45. Dr. Looney.
Thank you, Madam Chair and board members. This is necessary. We've had some schools that have been treating absenteeism during the final exam period differently, and we want to give the students the benefit of the doubt. So the primary change in this is it cuts off the period where the 6-day rule applies for the day when exams begin. So if you're in the exam period, the 6-day absentee rule will not apply to you moving forward. This is just first reading, so we'll have another shot at this, but I do recommend this. I think this is going to be good for students, particularly those students that have received an A average and are teetering on the 6-day absentee threshold. We don't want to penalize them during the exam period.
Someone like to make a motion?
So moved.
Motion from Mr. Hullett. Second from Ms. Mills. Is there any discussion? Are we ready to vote?
Your vote is 10 yes, 0 no.
Motion passes. Next item is 3A4, 5.310. It's vacations and holidays. Dr. Looney.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This, too, is a first reading. This policy revision is necessary because the principals have come out from the Memorandum of Understanding with the Teachers Association and our contract, and so we are proposing that they earn leave as they accrue it throughout the year rather than all up front. I do recommend approval of this policy revision.
Someone like to make a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion from Ms. Vogt.
Second.
Second from Mr. Hullett. Is there any discussion? Are we ready to vote?
Your vote is 10 yes, 0 no.
Motion passes. Next item is 3A5. This is on page 49, 6.3051, hearing procedure. This is a deletion of the policy. Dr. Looney.
Well, we don't get to do this very often, but I recommend that we delete this policy.
Someone like to make a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion from Ms. Hammond. Second from Mr. Peterson. Is there any discussion? Are we ready to vote?
Your vote is 10 yes, 0 no.
Motion passes. Next item is 3B1. These are 2013-14 budget resolutions. The first one is on page 53. It's the Central Cafeteria Fund. Dr. Looney.
Thank you, Madam Chair and board members. As you know, the Central Cafeteria Fund is a self-sustaining fund. We have an excess balance in that fund, and Mr. Remetti needs to buy some equipment, and so we're asking for your permission to do so.
Would someone like to make a motion? Motion from Ms. Mills. Second from Mr. Wimberly. Is there any discussion? Are we ready to vote?
Your vote is 10 yes, 0 no.
Motion passes. Next item is 3B2. This information is on page 55. It's the Extended School Program Fund. Dr. Looney.
Thank you, Madam Chair and board members. This transfer is to fund the hourly workers that are working in the foreign language program before and after school. These fees are the funds for these for this transfer comes from fees the parents are paying to participate in this program. No taxpayer money is involved.
Someone like to make a motion? Motion from Mr. McLaughlin. Second for Mr. Hullett. Is there any discussion? Are we ready to vote?
Your vote is 10 yes, 0 no.
Motion passes. Next item is 3B31. This is technology need. The information is on page 57. Dr. Looney.
Thank you, Madam Chair and board members. Our students will be so happy if you approve this. At any one point in time, we have about 15,000 student devices linked to the internet. It has slowed the internet down considerably, creating temporary outages. Everything has to go through the same filtering system to protect our students from accessing inappropriate content. And so we just simply need more capacity in this area to unclog the pipeline so students have a little bit better use and time, better use of time using their technology in school.
Someone like to make a motion? So moved. Motion from Mr. Hullett. Second from Ms. Mills. Is there any discussion? Are we ready to vote?
Your vote is 10 yes, 0 no.
Motion passes. Next item is 3B32. This is Cheek Park. This information is on page 59. Dr. Looney.
Thank you, Madam Chair and board members. Franklin High School students, athletes use Cheek Park for softball and baseball. The lighting out at those fields is not at the level that we would like for it to be. We'd like to increase the safety of our student athletes a little bit. And so we've been working with Parks and Rec for the last a little bit more than a year now, trying to come up with a solution to benefit the boys and girls at Franklin High School. Essentially, this is going to pay for about 1/4 of the cost of one of the fields. Jason, is that what it does?
Well, it's about half of one of the fields, probably about 1/7 to 1/6 of the total expenditure for all three fields.
So Parks and Rec is going to be coming up with a balance of the funds. My understanding is they're planning on doing the softball field first and then the baseball field. Hopefully this will help Parks and Rec get the job done, hopefully before the season starts for our young athletes at Franklin, and they'll have better playing conditions.
Would someone like to make a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion for Mr. Wimberly. Second, Mr. Peterson. Mr. Gregory.
I'd just like to thank Doug Hood and his whole team with the Parks and Rec. They do a great job, and they're great partners for us and help us out with a pretty much landlocked situation that we have over there at Franklin High and using those parks. But they've always been a great partner ever since I've been on the board, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Are we ready to vote?
Your vote is 10 yes, 0 no.
Motion passes. Next item is 3B41. This is a 2013-14 General Purpose School Fund Resolution to the County Commission for buses. The information is on page 61. Dr. Looney.
Thank you, Madam Chair and board members. This may be a window into the future since this is a result of growth and replacement too. So we need new buses for next year. 6 of them are for growth due to student enrollment growth. 5 of them are replacement buses, and I'm sorry, 5 are special ed buses. 5 are replacement buses, and 3 of them are special ed buses. Do recommend your approval. I didn't really say that very well, so I think if you read the resolution, it would do a much better job than I did.
Would someone like to make a motion? Motion for Ms. Mills.
Second.
Second for Mr. Hullett. Mr. Gregory?
I was just curious, does this have to be bid out, Dr. Looney?
Yes, sir. Yes.
It will be?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We actually have, I think we have a standing bid on buses that's run through the state, so we don't have to rebid it. We just use the existing bid.
Okay.
Ms. Vogt?
Dr. Looney, 2 questions. What happens to the buses when they still have some life in them? Like, is there a secondary market? What happens to them? And then what's the trigger that causes us to need to purchase them? I mean, what's the age at which the buses are no longer desirable by us, but they can go to the secondary market?
Well, thank you for your questions, and to be honest with you, I don't know that I have the exact answer. I know that there's I think it's 10 years and 150,000 miles.
It's 15 years and 200,000.
All right, I almost got it right. What Jason said. Once it reaches one of those 2 parameters, by law, we're no longer allowed to transport students. We are able to surplus those buses and sell them in a secondary market. Obviously, we feel that the buses are much more marketable than what we get them for them in that process. There are 2 pieces of legislation that are being proposed in the current legislative session that may very well alter those parameters. You know, we don't have a clue whether one of those will become law or not, but we're following the process pretty closely. John Hancock and our legislative delegation are very interested in those bills, and so we'll be following them. But the reason we're bringing this resolution to you now is the order time. They build buses on demand, essentially, and so you have to get into the ordering queue in order for the buses to be here in August. So essentially, if we're going to order and have them here when the new school year starts, we have to order now.
I did want you to clarify for the public that we don't have a lot of latitude in this regard. This is something that is state mandated, so
That's correct.
we just follow the law.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that wishes to speak to this item? Are we ready to vote?
Your vote is 10 yes, 0 no.
Motion passes. Next item is 3C. Information is on page 63. This is a recommendation for tenure. Dr. Looney.
Thank you, Madam Chair and board members. I do recommend Pamela Hoare be rehired and receive tenure.
Would someone like to make a motion? Motion for Mr. Peterson. Mr. McLaughlin, second from Mr. McLaughlin. Is there any discussion? Are we ready to vote?
Your vote is 10 yes, 0 no.
Motion passes, and congratulations to Pamela Hoare on receiving tenure. We look forward to many more years working with you. Next item on the agenda is 3D. This is information, begins on page 65. This is the board evaluation of the Director of Schools. Last year, the board set for the Superintendent of Schools 4 measurable goals. one thing I'd like to clarify for everyone, while this instrument states at the top of the page that it's for Mike Looney, it actually is an evaluation of the entire district. And the success of this document is due to the hard work of everyone in our district. The first goal that we set was the superintendent will lead the district to an average composite ACT score of 23.3. There are 4 categories on this evaluation: unacceptable performance, needs improvement, meets expectations, or exemplary performance. Based on the information that our board received on ACT scores, we felt that the superintendent and this evaluation document was exemplary performance. The second goal was the superintendent will lead the expansion of BYOT at all school district at all school district classrooms in grades 3 through 12. The board felt that the performance on this goal was also exemplary performance. That the superintendent's leadership resulted in teachers' innovative use of BYOT strategies as evidenced by lesson plans, model lessons, and student, teacher, and parent surveys. Goal number 3, the superintendent will lead the district to improvement of 3% on TCAP scores as measured by the percentage of proficient and advanced students. On this goal, the board marked the performance as meets expectations with a qualifier that although this goal was was unattainable due to last year's high achieving scores, the board believes the district met expectations and showed growth in all areas, including exceptional growth in the advanced category, noting that these goals were developed prior to the receipt of our scores from last year. On goal number 4, the superintendent will lead the organization by nurturing high expectations of students and employees, promoting collaboration with the Board of Education, broader community, and serve as the district's advocate. On this goal, the performance was again exemplary performance, that the superintendent exceeds management expectations, thereby accelerating the district's progress toward accomplishing shared goals. Dr. Looney and the Williamson County School District have maintained high expectation, and the results are impressive. I applaud the dedicated commitment to excellence as we focus on our goal of becoming a nationally recognized school district. We must continue to clearly communicate our strategies and objectives with all stakeholders. And as I stated before, while this document bears the name of the superintendent, I think it's important for all of us to remember that it's the performance evaluation of the district. On behalf of the board, I'd like to congratulate everyone for outstanding performance this year. Thank you for your hard work and your dedication to the students of Williamson County and their incredible success, and to Dr. Looney's outstanding leadership. Would someone like to make a motion? Motion from Mr. Wimberly. Second from Ms. Mills. Dr. Looney, would you like to say something?
I think I'll wait till after you vote.
Okay. Okay. Are there any further comments about the evaluation? Are we ready to vote?
Your vote is 10 yes, 0 no.
And again, congratulations to everyone's hard work to make this district a huge success. We appreciate it. On behalf of the board, I'd just like to express our sincere thanks and gratitude. And thank you, Dr. Looney, for your outstanding leadership.
Thank you. If I could have a moment of privilege. Board members, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to work for you. Most importantly, I want to indicate how lucky we all are to live in a community such as we live in. The reality of it is, as I said in the chamber today, we are blessed with fantastic students. I've had the opportunity to work in multiple districts, and I've this is the first district I can honestly say that the students daily amaze me about their intellect, their charisma, their humor, their tenacity, their work ethic. So I'm very thankful to be able to work on behalf of the boys and girls of Williamson County. Also, I think it would be remiss if I didn't mention the fantastic teachers and educators that we have in Williamson County schools. They work tirelessly for the boys and girls of Williamson County, and if you ever need inspiration, just stop by one of our schools and step into a classroom for 5 or 10 minutes, and it's easy to understand why Williamson County Schools is so great. It's because of the students and the teachers. The rest of us folks that sit around this table, the principals and the administrators in the district, we're just here to support their work and to try to give them the resources they need to do some heavy lifting when it needs to be done. But we're really here to support their work. And so thank you for letting me serve the boys and girls. Thank you for giving me great teachers to work with. It's an honor, it's a blessing, and I look forward to a lot more productive work ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes the business before this body this evening. If there are no further announcements, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much for being here.